Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. Today we're doing a bit of a ramble, a thank you, and I believe it's called mail calls, something like that. So first of all, let's get the thank you out of the way as he gingerly goes through the pile. I sent some model kits down to Old Paul? No. That's old Tom, and he ain't involved in it. Oh, he does, he gets a shout out later on. When does he not? Paul, down at the Plastic Monkey channel. I sent some kits down to him, and as you know, he sent a couple back up to me, which I wasn't expecting. It really was just, I needed to downsize my stash, and I wanted to, give some to charity and some to Paul. You could say me and Paul are charities. but he then said, like, one of his subs, that's the word I was after. Try not to, it won't go, I've got another cold now. I'm a right old moaner, aren't I? He said, like, I've got one of my subs wants your address to send you something. And I went, yeah, fair, that's great, thank you very much, cheers. And I obviously wasn't sure what it was. Anyway, it was from one of my subs who'd offered to send me something, and I'd said to him, he's in the States, and I said, it's really kind of you, but don't, because the United States pulled out of some postal thing a few years ago when we were still in the EU, I think. And we've not, whether it's us as a single country or the EU, I don't think we've got a postal agreement, and that's what shot the prices up, I believe, although it must do. But our own post office it costs just as much. And as I've said before, it breaks your heart, because you've got stuff that you'd like to send your marrows in the States or Europe, around the world. They've got stuff they'd like to send you, and not only does it cost us a fortune to send it either way, you can get clobbered then with the tax and the handling charge from in the UK side of it, the post office, and it can cost 20-25 quid sometimes. So you're paying the tax on the whatever it is, the price that somebody's put on it, and then you pay the handling charge, which is often more than the actual tax. It's horrible when Mara's friends, buddies, can't send stuff to each other as just as a not make somebody's day. I mean, this has made my day. When the wife said, "Oh, post's here, and you got something," and I'm thinking, "Oh God, what have I done on eBay this time?" I don't remember getting anything recently, apart from yesterday. I finally got my paints through, or the day before. Anyway, it's from Vinny, which is Captain Cuz. I never remember the numbers for it, Vinny, so I have to read it out. 6951. It's big numbers, I can see them without big readers on. And he'd offered to send me this kit before, and I'd said no. And that's the reason, as I say, and he's also put in his kind note, I am sorry, as well as thanking me for following and putting comments down and stuff, because he has got a railway channel, or railroad if you're in the States, which is very successful. But he's also gone back into modelling, and obviously he's been developing his modelling channel. And he was we both like 1 in 700 ships. He's an ex Matlow himself, sailor. He's served on the USS Saratoga as one veteran to another. Thank you for your service. Although I was firmly planted on land with a Mark I infantry boot, with the wobbly stuff. I only went on HMS Marlborough, that was enough. I know, the bloke who loves building ships. Anyway, I digress. So he wanted to send me this kit, and he finally got through. with Vinny, where there is a will, there is a way. He doesn't give up till the job is done. But that's it, Vinny. You said, like, people in the UK have not wanted, because he does a Christmas giveaway type of thing, and he'd really thought it out. He'd spread it between his railway fans, railroad, and his modelling community, and he wanted to include the UK and Europe and whatever. but I'm not going to speak for the others, but for myself, Vinny, it was, I didn't want to. I've said it. I could go in lots of those are the Americans that can afford to send stuff overseas. I've said to them, oh no, like, that's a great idea, but count me out. And it's to save you money. It's not to be. It's not to be. Obviously, I'm not malicious or nasty because we'll get on. But that's we're not being funny. Or I'm not being funny, and I don't believe the other fellas in the UK are, or fellarettes. It's just that we don't want you guys paying a load of money that it's all right saying you can't afford. That's putting words into your mouth, but you know what I mean. It's a great idea. I've been saying to my wife for the last blooming year, there are a couple of 3 people in the States particularly I need to get stuff to, as in get them something. And it's going to have to be done. What people have done for me is get them in the UK, from like UK eBay or UK whatever shop, and it's the same in the States. I'm going to have to do, because I just can't. It's even the Christmas cards. I sent some Christmas cards out, and it sounds silly saying a couple of pound a pop to send them, but when you ain't got a lot, it's blooming expensive. But you want to do it because it's a nice thing to do. I've never had Christmas. I mean, it's always been a joke in our house. It's only me, the wife, and the pups. Well, obviously we lost Barkley, but he's still here. It's a thing in our house. The wife gets loads of Christmas cards and whatever and the stuff, and she either hangs them on these ribbons and then puts them in. We've got like a bay window, and she puts them in the bay window and on. And there's never one for me because I'm Johnny No Mara, Johnny No Mates, and all of a sudden I'm getting cards from all my Maros around the UK and the world and that's been brilliant. And it's like the postman jokes. He says, "You get more than your wife." Oh well, not exactly a YouTube influencer, but that's the difference. You see, we are knitted in all together, like, you know what I mean. I know there are still some influencers out there. I was watching one of the Games Workshop guys who's got a huge channel, and he seems really nice and involved in the grassroots as well as being a big influencer type person. But most of us are really in the trenches, as I say. It's not we don't have huge followings and stuff, and it's all quite personal. And that doesn't even mean the guys that have got channels. That includes which is obviously a lot of people out there that don't have channels but are still marrows of my channel. They not only sub, but they put comments down. They advise, give me some advice on stuff, and that's always appreciated. As I say, I don't think it's often. I do, and this isn't slating others, but I'm just saying when I can talk, it's something that often isn't said enough. Is to thank the people that go out the way to put a comment down, because for me they're as involved in my channel as my channel marriage. Yes, I push the channel marriage a lot because I'm just trying to help them out as they help me out. I can't always do it financially, but I can try and move the ball forward with their channels, if that makes sense. But I don't forget the people. Never forget the people that don't want to make videos, and not everybody does. Who wants to put a potato head apart from me on a video? Yeah, thanks. Thanks. It means a lot that you take the time to go out there. Not only press the like button, or what do they smash the like button, but to take time to jot some words down, even if it's just nice work or they've got a question for me. Have I done something, or even why would you do something? You get the odd cruddy comment, but you've got to when you start a channel up. And I'll say, if you fancy starting a channel up, it's not hard to do. I use a Sony something camera here, but which is compared to cameras is just £170 one. The last one lasted me about 6-7 years. Don't last forever, but you know. But you can use your phone just as easy. I've got big sausage fingers. I'm useless with a phone. It's just easy to plonk a camera down in front of me and crack on. So anyway, here is the gift that Vinny sent me. The USS Minneapolis. Did that right, with a busted nose and a snotty one. As he just does a nice snotty. Oh, sorry about that. I've got to start editing really hard. It's a cracker. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm some expert on United States Navy ships of World War II, but especially those early ones around Guadalcanal, you know, those battles, the Coral Sea and whatever. I like to read up on occasionally. Battle of Salvo Island. So Vinny, thank you very, very much, Mara. You got it to me no matter how I tried to dissuade you. So thank you. I can't guarantee when it's going to be built, but it will be built. I'll get some nice photo etch for it. There's always photo etch for Trumpeter around, and it will join the fleet at some stage. As I say, I'm not going to give you a time frame on it because I've got so much on, and I've got a couple of ships in front of this one. Well, probably about 4 ships in front of this one to do first. But thank you. As I say, Vinny hasn't been on the model side of things long, but he's been obviously on YouTube a fair old while with his railway channel. Yeah, I'll definitely get this sorted, Mara. Definitely. Thank you very much. He also sent me his shot card. He's always very professional on his videography, and I think that's a professional word that Gav never uses on this channel because I just press a button and don't bother editing. Hey, but yeah, he's in Phoenix, Arizona. He won't mind me telling us, it's all on his card. But that's Vinny. There'll be a link in the description anyway. And he's also got me another card. That's a sticker or a card. I think it's a card. Thanks, Vinny. As I say, that's my reason. As I say, it's not a case of we're being disrespectful to you. We're just, as I say, it's either trying to save you money or, so to say, sometimes we get hit. I've only been hit twice, I think, so far out of about well, no, that's not a particularly good innings. I think about the 4 or 5 things I've had directly from the States, I've been hit twice, I believe, with customs, and the other stuff that my American Maras have bought me has been coming from UK, so I've not been hit with it. But I've also had some shot cards from a good Mara of mine in Belfast, which is Shamey of Shamey BMW fame. Fame is not alright there. Shamey BMW channel. He's famous. He does some fantastic work on automotive, and he does military vehicles as well. But and the odd, I think he does the odd, well, helicopters, particularly ships. Alright, he does most things. But he's really well known for his automotive work because he used to, for many years, I think he did the body work for BMW on their one-to-one cars, real ones. Look at these, absolutely cracking. And you can tell whether it's because Shamey has done that job for real, but they just roll through. You know, mine take. I have as many projects as he does, sometimes even a few more, with my figures and my models. Don't cough, Gav. But he just literally just boom, boom, boom. But he completes his in, you know, I'll do complete mine eventually. But yeah, so I got the 3. Thank you very much, Shamey, and thanks for the nice words you put down as well, Mara. He'll be in the description as well. He's always happy to advise you. I've learned such a lot, and I've sent him emails out of the blue. Shamey, how do I do this? If I've said something in my videos, he'll put a comment down, like on the recent hot rod reveal. Gav such and such, such and such. Again, it's people that are at the. I've got a lot of respect for people that are at the top of the tree, helping people that are just learning. You know what I mean? They don't just go, oh, it's a mystical secret thing, and I could never divulge my techniques to you. That's what I've always got on with old Tom. You know, he again, top of the tree bloke. He's there, wins all them medals, but he's got no problem helping the people out of whatever age. You know, old boys like me to youngsters, helping them progress in their builds. So I was looking around for I've got some other thank yous to do. Thank you to old Tom, who sent me a Christmas card. Tom, it's not on display here. People have seen it on other people's anyway, because it's on display in the bay window. The first one I had. I'm just not used to always putting them up, so I apologise. But thank you, Mara. It's a great card, and I appreciate the kind words inside as well. And also, Mr. and Mrs. Beetle, don't cough, Gav, who haven't got channels, but they've been so supportive to me over the years. You hear me say it. They just have always got my back, and I appreciate that. If they're not sending me stuff, the wife got a big box of chocolates the other day. All that's left is a box for recycling. I can get a look in. Yeah, I got your Christmas card, and obviously now, as I said, yours can go back out because it's change of address, I believe. So thank you very much. I'm about to send you an email to thank you anyway, but while I'm on here, again, I can't hold it up, but it's a VW one. He's crazy, or both of them are crazy on V-dubs. So it was a VW Christmas card. You just get the cheap ones with me. I am sorry. One day. Oh, and talking about shop cards, I am going to do a couple of shop cards. Hold Shamey's up again. I'm going to do a couple of shop cards in the new year. I'm going to do one probably painting related, figure painting related, and one automotive. I was just going to do one automotive just because it's mainly automotive guys that send a lot of it, not always, but a lot of this stuff around. And I thought, well, I'll just do an automotive one. I know my channel isn't automotive modelling specific. I just do one. I'll always have one, I think, now in the background along with my ships. Yeah, I just thought I'd get one out and then do a figure painting one as well. People can take the pick or get both or whatever. I'm just going to draw mine now, I think. We'll see how that goes. Hard can it be? Right. So that is everything. I've got this. Doug Hensley probably won't see this. Shame on you, Doug, for not watching all my videos. How dare you watch those Squatch videos and scrap metal hunting videos and everything when you should be watching mine. I put a lot of energy and sacrifice a lot to get this these videos out to you. Anyway, something that was sent to me was my Mara. Who are you again, Doug? Yeah, Doug. Doug in Kentucky. I'm working on your Barbarian from Black Sun Miniature, or the old Barbarian it's called. Slight resemblance to Doug in the yeah, slight resemblance to Doug. There'll be a Doug story in this somehow. I can weave something in there. So yeah, I won't show the rest. The wife's finally found me blue foam square blocks. If anybody wants to make little bases, when you go on eBay, UK, but it's got to be around the world, you get a lot of these companies that use this material, and they've cottoned on now that people like me buy them. So they're putting them on eBay as offcuts. And like for a couple of quid you can get a box of, sometimes they'll say different sizes, but this one was all the same, and they make excellent bases. You haven't seen many of them because I lost the box with them all in. My wife lost the box with them all in. So Dengar's going to go on one of these. Might do a bit of a backdrop behind him. I'm not going to like brace the outsides with plastic card or anything. It'll just be as it is for this one anyway. But I'm also thinking of starting a second channel up. I've been getting into the Games Workshop stuff recently, and I don't want to. The problem with my channel is it's got so much of everything on it. Yes, the Games Workshop is figures, but I needed some way of separating something. I thought something's got to give in some respects. If I'm going to do this other thing, which is what I wanted to do, is there's a particular. I'm going to paint some Games Workshop figures because I've got some in the drawer, and I want to get the Gloom Gits. No, Gloom Gits. Gloom Spike Gits. I think that might be it. Gloom Spike Gits. I like them little fellas. I them little squigs and everything. A well-known painter did one for Games, and I forgot his name right now. For the Golden Demon. I always watch all the Golden Demon videos, figure painting. I don't do a lot of fantasy and stuff, and like Warhammer, 40k, 30k, Heresy, all that stuff. I hardly do anything at all, do I? But I'd fancied documenting like a journey of building an army slowly, paint it to as high a standard as I can do it, but individual figures as well from the Games Workshop universe, if you want to put it that way, just things that take my fancy, but the bedrock will be the old Bad Moon, Yellow Crescent Bad Moon, and I'm thinking of doing that. This is going to mean absolutely nobody to anybody that isn't into that type of stuff, which is most of the people on my channel, which is why this probably could go a second channel. So I thought, yeah, I might make a second channel, because I'm getting, whether it's just my head or whether it's just everybody does that type of thing. I've got so much going on in the one channel. What I'm finding is people are signing up, say, because they suddenly see a nice shiny orange hot rod, and then we've got some 18mm. Let's get one up here. Napoleonic officer in greatcoat, Prussian, 1806. And I'm on about doing little green fellas. But yeah, you know what I mean. So you see an orange hot rod, and then a load of Napoleonic 18mm or 28mm, which is those horses up there. Still not got the riders over there finished. But yeah, and then we've got 1 in 700 ships and display figures and all the stuff that I do. So I just thought, rather than clutter the channel up with yet more stuff like that, if I separate that and just say, right, that's going to be Games Workshop stuff. And I did think, do I just make it into like my Star Wars and everything as well? But I'm doing that now on this channel, and I think that I'm happy with that, because I've always been figure related, and I took on modelling, and it's now, both are just as important to me. I enjoy both of them. So I'll keep the cars, the ships, the display figures in general, my Prussian, all that Napoleonics will still stay on here because people know where to find it. But I don't know how far I go with the Games Workshop stuff, but I've just been enjoying every time I look at the Golden Demons. I've always fancied going into one as in a competition. I don't think I could ever paint to a competition standard. And I know if you don't have a go, you don't know. And also all the crowds and queues and all that stuff with my head, I don't know if I could do it. I know I go to, but I don't say to myself, we do go to Telford. We shall see. But anyway, so I am thinking of doing a second channel just on my Games Workshop stuff when I start doing them in the new year. But as I say, I'd like to. I was looking through the different armies and stuff, and I like the 40k. Still be 40k on there as well. I've got a couple of Space Wolves figures to paint and put up on there if I do it on there, and but I like the fantasy side of it just because I can just do that bit more different than I normally paint, which is like masses of uniforms, if that makes sense. So I know I can do different, and there will be different 40k figures popping up and 30k, but in a way for me, I couldn't paint a lot of them because it's just, I could paint single miniatures to for the enjoyment of it, but it's too much like painting too many more uniforms, if that makes sense. Whereas with the fantasy stuff, I can just do a bit it's just a way of me enjoying painting, and doing subjects I wouldn't have touched in a million years type of stuff. I mean, late 50s, and I'm mid 50s, and I'm only just really discovering the joy of painting Games Workshop figures. Weird. So look out for that one. I might make an announcement on it. It might come to nothing. They usually do. But I've got Christmas to mull it over, and because there's no way I'm going to get any figures to me now anyway. But yeah, it's I quite like them little. I think they're gloom spike gits. I think they are something like that with a little yellow crescent. I like them little fellas on the squigs and the things. I just the trog-offs. I love them trog-offs. I just thought I fancied doing some, and I just thought, well, it's just cluttering up my channel with even more stuff that people want to go and see that maybe, but don't want to see a Star Wars figure, or they don't want to see a 15mm. Well, I'm back on doing them 15mm as well. They're not into seeing my 150mm up banner figure, Napoleonic flats. They're all over the bench at the moment. They've got to go into dustproof boxes. But yeah. Right, so we'll speak soon. Another video, another time. I'll do a Christmas video. I'm not probably going to do a Christmas. I'm only going to do a Christmas shout out video last year, because I did used to do go through everybody who I interacted with regularly, but I always found I ended up missing people out, or people when they hear the shout. I do shout outs. You don't get it often, but you get people that have really just drop in a couple of comments to get a shout out, and then you never hear from them again. I'm going away more from doing the big huge shout out, and just when I fancy shouting somebody out, as I do, I'll put a video up doing that. There are a couple I want to do. I just don't want to bother shouting them out on this video because it'll get lost in everything else I've been rambling on about. So look after yourselves. Again, thank you for the support and the kind words and the big thumbs and all that stuff. Videos coming up. I've got slow progression on Tom's NASCAR. I knew there would be. As I say, I'd slowed down till I'd got the paint, which I have got now. But I'll be kicking into that particularly most of tomorrow. So that'll get some progress. I've been throwing a lot of time at that Barbarian. I wasn't going to. Well, you haven't really seen him apart from the quick flash up on the camera, but I was going to just go ta-da, done it. Which I probably will. I won't. That was just to say to Doug, if he ever watched the video, that I actually have painted, or getting into painting one of his figures. So that's it. I'm just thinking, what else? Avenger, HMS Avenger, the scratch built Type 21 frigate. I keep saying I will. She's all done now. I've even made a bit of a foam, blue foam everywhere. A blue foam base, but I haven't done any water texture or anything on that yet. So what I will do is, once I've given her a prime in the week, I'll hopefully have made the water base at the same time. And then at least we can get an update on that. I think that's about it. Those 28mm cavalry, which look like about 6mm from this distance, but the horses up there, riders over there, they'll be done. They should have been done probably about 7 or 8 days ago, but I always hold off at Christmas. Although you'd say, well, Gav, if you put them up, somebody might buy them for somebody for Christmas or something like that, or if they've got their sweaty little palms on some money. But with the vagaries of the post, I'm always terrified that over Christmas, with it, obviously you get a landslide of parcels, I'll put my stuff in and they'll disappear somewhere. Because I've had a couple of Christmas stuff, not for Christmas, but I've bought stuff over Christmas on eBay and they've never arrived. And you just got to have good faith that the person sent them in the first place. But yeah, you get your money back in that, but it's still it's different when somebody's sending a box of paints out or something that I've bought, but when I've spent a couple of weeks or more, in the scheme of things, painting these to sell, for them to go missing, I never really get my money back, if that makes sense, on the time that I've put into them. So yeah, don't wait till the new year now. I mean, they'll be done and you'll get a video of them over Christmas, but they won't be sold till New Year. And breathe, Gav. So that's it. Look after yourselves. If you're doing all them works parties, take it easy. We have a Christmas party here in our little painting studio, better known as the second bedroom in our house that was converted. Converted is we went through a couple of cupboards in and stuff, but yeah, it's woo Christmas time. It's about as good as it gets. So, yeah, look after yourselves. This is going to take three hours to upload. And I think there was something, I keep going like, because something's in the back of my head that I need to be saying something. I've either forgot to thank somebody for a card that I've had, and I forgot to thank them. It's just going to have to go now. There will be a shout out. So I'm rolling back again. There will be a shout out video coming up for a couple of channels I've been recently following. I always try and throw one of my older channels in there as well. So hopefully that'll come up in the next couple of days. So yeah, Elvis has left the building. Look after yourselves.